If you're too kind, people assume you're weak. When you're competent, people might assume you're ineffective. People who are kind often get walked on and taken advantage of, and what makes it worse is it's often done by people who are weaker than they are. People who are competent often get looked down on by people less competent than they are. First, people take kindness for weakness. That's not a new saying. I've also heard that people take kindness for stupidity. I'm sure you've heard one of those. I could give numerous examples of when I've witnessed this as a police officer, but I'm going to give you a personal example. It's from when I was a teenager. One of our dogs that was usually in one of the large dog runs out back somehow got out, and he decided to go on a nice stroll down a long country road. I mean, what dog wouldn't really? I don't know if a car almost hit the dog or if he was just picked up because he was walking along the road. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with the point that I'm trying to make here. The driver brought the dog to our house, asked if we knew who the owner was. Well, we explained it was ours, and we were extremely thankful for bringing the dog back, and of course very apologetic as to what took place, but everything was fine. The person started talking about how important it was to properly secure your pets, which we agreed to. Of course, it's never happened before. We apologized again for the inconvenience, and we were glad that it all turned out okay. Now, for some reason, that person started becoming very agitated, raising their voice, even insulting. I know my family, and like everybody else, they have their limits. After thanking them a couple more times, they went to close the door. This person yelled an insult and had said something very threatening. Like that. The other person knew they went too far. They were backed up all the way to the vehicle. And I remember hearing the words from my family member, "You come on this property again uttering those words, and there's going to be a problem." Even as a young teenager, I could see that this person was almost emboldened by my family member being so nice and apologetic about the whole thing. So later that night, I heard that term, people take kindness for weakness. Now, I know that this is a drastic example, but it's something that happened, and it's relevant to the point that I'm trying to make. Looking back on it as an adult, I could see my family member was also trying to teach me something. Be nice, be apologetic, but don't allow yourself to be treated that way. Next, mistaking competence for ineffectiveness. I'm going to read something that Patrick Bet-David recently said in an interview. Doers are quiet, complainers are loud. Doers just kind of put their heads down and go, build their family, take care of their wife, their husband, their kids. They're good citizens locally and they have a lot of tolerance. So when people are talking and they're loud, they don't say anything. What they don't realize is happening is the people that are in the middle that are oblivious think the complainers are right and you're wrong for staying quiet. Same point, very well articulated. I've witnessed this my entire life. Whether I was just a boy in school or an adult sitting in a club, watching the loudest guy do whatever he could just to try to attain what he thought was the alpha male status. It wasn't until I got older that I heard the term Sigma personality, and that made sense to me, as did the comparison between leaders, followers, and something even more relatable, individuals. Never let the opinions of others keep you from achieving excellence. So, if you're too kind, people think you're weak. When you're competent, people think you're ineffective. Having said that, always be kind until it's time to not be kind, and never hide your competence. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, be safe out there, look after one another, and perhaps we will see you again.